starring Dorothy Malone as Constance Mackenzie, Ed Nelson as Michael Rossi, Ryan O'Neal as Rodney Harrington, Barbara Parkins as Betty Anderson, Tim O'Connor as Elliot Carson, Christopher Connolly as Norman Harrington, Patricia Morrow as Rita Harrington, James Douglas as Stephen Cord.
The Peyton house, once again, is a field of battle. Martin Peyton has pulled the strings, and his grandsons, Rodney Harrington and Stephen Cord, and Stephen's wife, Betty, are moving at his command. Less than an hour ago, Stephen sought out Betty, after he had publicly accused Martin Peyton of slandering her. Stephen's anger was righteous and protective, but he failed to come to grips with the key issue. Does he believe the private detective's report on Betty's behavior in New York?
A long time ago, it must have been 100 years ago, we had an argument. A terrible shouting argument. It was right after we were married and I wanted to take Mother out to dinner and try to put you two together to try to break the ice. You said, no, not yet. Something like that. It was so important. We really let each other have it, and I remember I was surprised at the sound of my own voice. I didn't realize it got shrill.
I remember.
Do you, Stephen? Oh, it was a beautiful argument. And when it was over, we were like this. We had the suite at the inn, and I was on one side of the room and you were on the other.
Like this.
When it was over, we talked. We were husband and wife again, Stephen.
I walked across the room to you, and we held each other.
Come here, Stephen.
So long ago.
Stephen, come here, please. Stephen, look at me. I got caught, Stephen, caught in something I couldn't handle, a big roller coaster ride, and I couldn't get off. I just had to sit back and wait until it stopped.
Are you off it now?
Almost. Stephen, I've seen the will.
I just don't have the ability to be surprised anymore. Lee Weber was right.
Yes.
Good, clean, honorable Lee Weber.
He was right. I took the will out of Mr. Peyton's safe and I delivered it to Leslie Harrington. And I read it.
Tell me about the will. And when you're finished, you tell me about the rest of it.
I'll tell you all that I know.
Oh, you always do.
Stephen, I'm the principal beneficiary.
I told you. I can't even raise an eyebrow. I just don't have the ability to be surprised.
I'm the principal beneficiary. That means the bulk of the estate will go to me.
I guess that's what it means, all right.
There's one condition.
Of course. We lawyers call that a hook. Of course, we lawyers are not always courteous.
Mr. Peyton's condition is that the two of us, Stephen, we separate and divorce.
What else?
That I married Rodney within a year of Mr. Peyton's death.
Very good, Mr. Peyton. Very good. No more than that. Brilliant. Brilliant! Oh, he knows his puppet children. He knows how to move the strings. My dear grandfather is a master. He is a master. All right, tell me more, Betty. Now, there must be more. Let's see now. Another condition. Providing you and Rodney are married within 1 year after the old man's death. And providing the earth opens up and swallows me, myself, the Honorable Stephen Cord, may he rest in peace. He is beyond understanding. He is less than human.
He's from a different world, Stephen, a different time.
Oh, Betty, I wish it were possible for me to tell you how much I want to hurt him. How much I want to see him turn and twist and suffer.
Would it be possible for you to tell me how much you want our marriage to hold? How much you want us to stay together? Would it be possible for you to show up the conditions of that piece of paper for what they're worth? Would it be possible, Stephen?
Steve, you look like you need a night's sleep. All I have to offer you is a little coffee. Look, Elliot, I've come for the blame report. Yeah, I know. I wonder what took you so long. You know something, Steve? You are either the biggest fool or the biggest gambler I've ever met in my whole life. Do you know where the Blaine report is right now? Supposing I told you that it was set in a tray of type down in the composing room of the Clarion. What if I told you that it was just an hour or so away from being run off on the front page? Now, look. I gave it to you. I told you to print it. Now, what do you want me to do? Beg? Elliot, I want it back. Well, I'd like to give you back that whole evening, Steve. Shouting that you were being blackmailed to keep you out of public office while your wife is being chewed to little pieces in the presence of half a dozen of the most prominent people in Peyton Place. And then the grand, heroic gesture printed. Oh, boy. I'd like to give you back that whole evening, Steve. All right, I made a grandstand play. I knew you wouldn't print it. Oh, you did, eh? Well, I knew you couldn't read it and then print it. I didn't read it. As soon as I read that it was a report from the Blaine Detective Agency, I folded it up and I put it away. Is that why you've had that injured expression on your face since you came in here? Because you expected me to sympathize with you because of what I read in the report? Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Steve. I didn't read it, and I'm not interested in what it said. All right, you forced me to listen to the lecture. Now give me the report, I'll get out of here. What is this, anyway? This the martyrdom of Stephen Cord? Elliot, that's enough. Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, you could have saved yourself a trip because someone else stopped into the Clarion last night and asked me not to print it. Rodney? Don't slam the door when you go out because I think Connie and Rachel are still asleep. Was it Rodney? What's the difference? I didn't print it and you got it back. And as far as our business is concerned, either you get the police on Chandler's tail this morning or I turn the whole business over to another attorney.
Stephen.
Good morning.
Elliot? What happened?
Darling, you look lovely this morning.
What's Stephen doing here at this
He
hour?
just had something on his mind. How would you like to make me some breakfast, honey? I've tried, as you can see.
Very well, we'll start over. Good morning, dear. And what would you like for
Oh,
breakfast?
good morning, Mrs. Carson. I'll eat anything you make. Morning, Rachel. Hello there, Matthew. How's your diaper rash?
Oh, Mr. Carson, I think I saw Chandler last night. When last night? Where? Well, it was very late. I woke up and I just happened to go to the window and I saw him.
You're positive it was Chandler?
Yes, I saw him. He was across the street. He was just watching the house.
Who's there?
Dr. Rossi.
Oh, come on in. It's open.
Well, how's my favorite patient doing, eh?
Fine.
Well, that's a new and different answer. Hey, favorite patient?
I saw you the other day.
Well, I saw you the other day.
I saw you kiss Rachel. I never thought I'd get up the nerve to tell you, but I had to. I didn't want you to think I was spying on you. It was an accident. I just sort of walked in.
Rita, Rachel kissed me. It was kind of a on the spur of the moment thing.
Okay.
She needs a father. She sees me as a father figure, kind of a protector, if you will. She's a very impulsive girl, and from time to time she lets her, well, she shows more than a... Well, I wonder myself if well, she couldn't have a crush on me. It's not unusual for a young girl to have a crush on older men.
Oh, well, if that's all it is.
Now, that's all it is. Now, I came here to talk about you.
I was worried. I thought you might really like her. Isn't that silly?
That is silly.
I mean, it would be a good idea if you could find somebody to take Anne's place. But Rachel isn't any older than I am.
Yeah, she hasn't even cut her eye teeth yet.
Pardon?
Scratch it. Well, that has nothing to do with the state of your health. I have a very busy day today. I'm a busy old man, and I'd like to get out of here.
As long as you don't have a crush on her.
Now, take a couple of deep breaths for me, huh?
Because what if it didn't work out?
Another?
I wouldn't want to see you get hurt again.
Well, how about you and Norman?
Fine.
Everything all right?
Sure.
Hey, don't clam up on me.
I'm not.
No. Norman's a very emotional person, and I know he loves you very much. And, of course, you love him very much.
So?
So you're paying attention to the ground rules.
Yes.
Rita, look at me.
Of course we are.
All right. All right, I'll see you next week, yeah? You know what the consequences can be if you break those rules. And if you follow them, you'll have many long years of happiness with Norman. You have all the kids and dogs and clutter that you need. Don't jeopardize that by not being able to wait, huh?
Okay.